welcome to another virtual episode of the Forum. My name is Garrett Groves, Vice President of Business and Industry Partnerships at Austin Community College. The Forum is a roundtable talk show that gives us the space to discuss pertinent topics concerning ACC and our community with various faculty, staff, and students. Today we'll be discussing ACC's Fast Track Careers and Programs, what they are, what they do, and why ACC created this track particularly during the pandemic. It is a dire time, but there's a lot that people can do to pivot into high-demand careers. At ACC, we're here to help and do everything we can to help get you on that fast track to the career that you so much want to be in as fast as we can. Joining me today is Hector Aguilar. He's our Continuing Education Dean at Austin Community College and one of the pioneers in helping us develop these programs. I'm also joined by Tamara Atkinson, CEO of Workforce Solutions at Capital Area, who not only handle a lot of our unemployment insurance and benefits, but has a lot of great labor market information and some keen insight for us today. I'm also particularly proud to be with our student, Mark Suarez, who attended not only one of our fast track programs, but now is a graduate and well on his way to share what that path has been like with us. So thank you so much for being here with me today, and let's get started. Tamara, I'd like to start with you. It's been a tough year for a lot of Central Texans. Can you provide an overview for us about what the state and our local economy looks like today?
Yeah, thank you so much, Garrett. First, I want to say what an honor it is to be able to speak to you. Workforce Solutions is a proud partner with ACC, and so it's wonderful to be on this virtual panel with you and the entire ACC family. So thank you for your longstanding partnership with us. And Garrett, thank you for your leadership on the board of directors of Workforce Solutions as well. You are an integral part of the work that we are doing together between Workforce Solutions and ACC in this community. You know, Workforce Solutions Capital Area stands for connecting local people safely to local jobs. And that's never been more important than in this COVID environment. And you're absolutely right, Garrett. So many people have been impacted, so many businesses, so many people who early on and still now aren't sure what's going to happen. To their livelihoods, to their ability to be able to support themselves and their families. The good news is, as we go through this interview together in this panel, we've got some hope that we can provide in partnership with ACC for our community to help people rapidly reskill and get back into jobs. But first, if I may, paint the picture of what we're seeing now. We saw from August to September our unemployment rate tick up. So it's moving in the wrong direction, unfortunately. We'll continue to track it month over month as it's reported. But we know behind that statistic of 6.4% unemployment, we know that's 80,000 plus Central Texans that are drawing jobless benefits. That's a lot of hurt out there. That's a lot of uncertainty. We know in particular there are sectors that formerly face-to-face industry sectors that have really been hard hit. But we also see some trends in some of our really hardworking foundational industry sectors that continue to provide job growth and job opportunity. To that end, currently, right now, there are more than 24,000 job openings in this region for people that have the skills to match to them. I'm excited, Garrett and ACC, to be able to talk more through this interview about how Workforce Solutions in partnership with ACC can help rapidly reskill and upskill workers to get them back to work so that, again, together, we can connect local people to local jobs.
Absolutely. Hector, if I could pivot to you, I'd love to have the audience hear a bit more about not only how much the labor market's changed and what we're all feeling as a result, but there's been big changes for Austin Community College as we shift online. Before we dive into the fast track programs and how we've cut those prices by 50% and all the great work you're hoping to do there, could you first share a bit about what this has looked like for ACC as we change how we provide training and education?
Absolutely, Garrett. And like Tamara, it is an honor to be part of this panel. And I want to especially thank Tamara and Workforce Solutions Capital Area for being such an enormous partner of Austin Community College to help so many people that are in hurt. Yes, this pandemic has really affected us, but in some sense, in a good way, something that we have been wanting to do, which is convert a lot of our programs to online, would have taken us a couple of years. back in March, when we realized that the pandemic was very serious, it took us a couple of weeks to transform more than 90% of our programs to online. So today, we have at the college more than 200 programs. And just in the continuing education, which are the short programs, which is where these 12 programs that Garrett was referring to, Fast Track, fall into, more than 90% of these programs are online. Some of the few exceptions are in the trades areas and in the healthcare areas. Why? In the trades areas and healthcare areas, there's a lot of hands-on, and you still have to do the hands-on, but business areas, teacher programs, IT areas, all of those have converted completely to online. So we've had dramatic change.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, for one, can attest to all of the changes we've seen and what that's meant, not only for us, but for our students and the benefits there. Mark, if I could turn to you, you're one of our graduates. Could you tell us a bit about, just even from your personal experience, how the pandemic's affected you both as a student during that time, but also as a graduate?
So yeah, pretty much I moved back to Austin last year, and I ended up getting a job as a door-to-door salesman, and it was an okay job. It was okay for the time. And then March came around, and I had taken that week off for spring break and to go spend time with my family and whatnot. So I left out of town, and it was kind of crazy. I pretty much stayed down there. I pretty much didn't come back because they had laid us all off due to the pandemic. And after a few months, like somewhere around the beginning of summertime, I was kind of lost. Like I just didn't really know where to go from this point. And even my old job was asking, they were like, okay, we might start picking back up a little bit, but and even at that point, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go back. So I was just there, just kind of lost a little bit, and I was lucky enough because I'm a family friend of Dr. Laura Marmolejo, and I was visiting at that time. And I was really grateful because she was the one that told me about this program, about the CBT 4.0 program, the Fast Track program. And I'm really glad I took that opportunity. And she helped me, along the way to figure out how to get into it and everything. But yeah, as far as like how the pandemic affected me, yeah, so I pretty much lost my job and same. I was kind of the same boat with a lot of people. We're just kind of lost and didn't really know what was going to happen next or what to do.
And if you don't mind a quick follow-up, can you share a bit with us now where you're at now and how that's how the course looks now for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just finished the course a couple weeks ago in the beginning of October. There's a few things I had to take care of back at home with my family and stuff, but as of right now, I'm in the process of applying to jobs. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Excellent. And there's no shortage of individuals that we're helping support do exactly that same work. I'm so glad you're with us for that journey, and also picking up what you shared too about how many just individuals in our lives, how making decisions help shift and change our course. And we're really glad that ACC is part of your journey and your experience. Thank you for doing that with us. A quick kind of wrap up for this section before we go to break. I don't know, Tamara or Hector, who wants to try this first, but this pandemic is not going away ever completely. It's changed the course and the future of work for so many of us. Maybe Tamara, I'll come to you first. Is what stands out to you as one or two ways that we're forever going to be in a new environment because of the pandemic?
Well, I think ACC's leadership in moving to more digital virtual instruction for more of your workforce coursework is going to be with us for forever now. I think we've changed in that way, and I don't think we're going back. I think that's one. I think two, what it highlights is that you earn what you learn. And so I think that in partnership with ACC and the great work ACC is doing, we're going to continue to see a premium placed by employers on skills.
I couldn't agree more. Hector, anything you also feel like we should add to how the future of education's forever changed?
Yes, I think that I think many of us agree and realize that a lot of jobs are not coming back. And we need to make sure that we're training people for the jobs that will come back, that will persist. But even the jobs that do come back, that persist, that will be here once this virus leaves us, a lot of jobs are going to require continuous training. So working with Workforce Solutions to help people upskill or to just skill to get a job, even some of the entry-level courses, to get basic courses to get a very entry-level job. That's still going to be needed, but all types of jobs are going to change. I think it's going to be very few jobs that stay the same. Training will be something that all jobs, for the most part, are going to require, and we're here to help.
I couldn't agree more. So stay with us. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back to continue the conversation about fast track career programs, what they are, and how you can get involved.
At any stage of life you're in, ACC will meet you right there.
It welcomes you in and takes you as you are.
I like having the freedom to do what I want to do, how I want to do it.
They provide a whole lot of resources for you to be able to get done what you need to get done.
I like knowing that I'm a little more ready than everyone else.
I wouldn't have even considered applying to Harvard if not for my experience at ACC.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
ACC is for everyone.
Welcome back to the forum. We're discussing fast track careers at Austin Community College with my guests today. Hector, I'd like to come to you and finally dive deeply into what is a fast track career at ACC and why is it important for our individuals to get as involved as they can?
So a lot of the programs that are offered at a community college are 2-year programs, associate degrees. Fast track programs are typically programs that take 1 year or less. And what we've done right now because of this pandemic is we've compressed them even more. So we're offering a number of programs that are like 3 months or less. Some are offered during the day for 4 or 5 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. Some are on evenings, some are on weekends, but you can start them and you can end them anywhere from a few weeks to 3 months. And the goal is to get you a job, in a job that does exist, that there's multiple jobs in this region as soon as possible. We ask people, how could we help you? What would you like? And many people, obviously, that are unemployed say, get me a job. And you ask them, when? Yesterday. And a lot of these jobs require training. And that's why this partnership between Workforce Solutions Capital Area and ACC is so important. Help people get a job through these training programs, 3 months or less, quickly.
That's excellent. Tamara, I would like to turn to you for a second because you as well have a new initiative funded by the City of Austin and Travis County that we're aligning with these same fast track careers. Could you tell us more about Rework Now?
The initiative I'm going to talk to you about now that is in partnership with ACC actually was built with Mark in mind. And Mark, you didn't even know it. And so Mark, I want to first compliment you for taking that big step at ACC to improve your life. That's exactly what this is about. So in partnership with ACC, we have launched what we're calling Rework Now, and it is really built around ACC's Fast Track Training Program. It's meant to recognize, as Hector said, people need a job and they need a job yesterday. So it's about really lifting up and supporting rapid skills training for individuals who lost their jobs due to COVID so that they can get back to work more quickly, and we can help pivot people into jobs in industries that are growing our economy. In just a few minutes, Garrett, I would love to tell you a little bit more about where we see those industries growing and where those jobs are. But at the end of the day, please know that in partnership with ACC, Workforce Solutions Capital Area is launching this rapid retraining program called Rework Now. And we would love to see every one of you watching this sign up or tell someone about this program so that more people can benefit from getting the skills they need to get into the jobs that are growing our economy.
We couldn't be more excited to help Central Texans rework and do so on the fast track. The point that Hector, as you laid out, we've accelerated these programs to make it as fast as possible, knowing that so many that we're talking to here today want that job yesterday. So we're doing all we can to get that fast track in place. Hector, could you give us a bit more detail on some of these pathways? Let's drill down a little bit on what this looks like, perhaps in one of our manufacturing pathways, maybe in welding, maybe in healthcare. Which one would you want to highlight and tell us a little bit more about what Central Texans could expect?
I'll give you a few examples. Like, for example, we have a basic manufacturing program that helps an individual get a job with a manufacturer. And there's a lot of jobs in this region. It's called CPT, Certified Production Technician. And we have multiple starting dates and ending dates. So if you can't do it next week, maybe, in a few weeks. For example, we have a cohort starting next month, November. And these programs typically, like I said, might take a couple of months, but we've compressed them. So this CPT program will take about 2 months. So you can come to us for about 2 months or maybe a little bit more and be qualified to get an entry-level job at a manufacturer. Likewise, we have multiple healthcare programs. One would be like Certified Nurse Aide. Certified Nurse Aide, we have also a number of starting dates, but like we have also a cohort starting next month, November. And you can finish this program in 1 month or less and get a job within that time frame. You can look at other programs like in the trades. Garrett mentioned welding or HVAC, but like in the case of welding, we just started a cohort and about to start another one next month, November. And likewise, this program would have taken a couple of months. You can finish it in less than 2 months. The same thing for HVAC. HVAC, get a job with a company that does heating, ventilation, air conditioning. Typically would take you about 6 months. That means like coming to school 2 evenings a week plus half of a Saturday. We've compressed it so that you come to us like three or 4 days a week, but you can finish it in 3 months and get one of many jobs in the trades areas. Remember, the pandemic has affected all of us, but it hasn't, as far as trades and healthcare, we still, as you know, are going to the doctor, and we still have to call the plumber, and we still have to hire the tradespeople. So these are great jobs. You can finish them soon. And so we have multiple entry points. Truck driving is another one. We offer truck driving every single month. We've been offering it every 12 times a year. So if you want to be a truck driver, there's a lot of jobs. It's quick. And fortunately, we have a very strong partnership with Workforce Solutions, Capillary.
Excellent. Mark, I'd love to pivot to you for a second and hear a little bit more about your experience, because you were one of the first students in these programs, the CPT program that Hector mentioned. That's our manufacturing program. It's geared for employment. In one of our fastest growing industries. It's with that specific credential, you can get a job with Samsung, with Tesla, with many of the companies we know are moving and growing in Austin. Mark, can you tell us a bit about that course, how you found it, and what you thought of it?
So again, I'm an old family friend of Dr. Laura Marmolejo, and I think she was able to tell that I was just kind of lost, and so she just walked me through the process, and pretty much I feel like it's the same for anybody. Whether you need to call ACC and ask who the program coordinator is, she's a program coordinator for that program, and just email her, introduce yourself, and let her know that you're interested in the program, and she'll guide you along the process to get you signed up for the classes, as well as to get in contact with Workforce Solutions and get all that figured out as well. As far as the course goes itself, yeah, it was about 2.5 months. It was not long. It was very smooth. It was like ACC is trying really, and like perfectly, that they're doing everything they can to make this program as smooth as possible to get you through and make sure that you actually learn this information, not just them reading it off to you, that they're actually trying to make sure that you understand it, not just memorizing or anything like that. And then from that point, they also like I didn't have a direct internship with them directly, but the program coordinator, Laura Marmolejo, as well as my instructors and other instructors, they have a lot of connections with Samsung, with even with Tesla, with Applied Materials, and there's many other manufacturers all throughout Austin. They have a lot of connections with them, and all you just have to ask. You just have to ask, like, hey, how can I get into contact with this job? I'm really interested, and they will help you out.
Oh, that's excellent, Mark. You're absolutely right. That is part of our role, is not just to provide the training, but that linkage to that next job and the opening with the wages that we're targeting with these programs. That's great to hear, Mark. Tamara, I'd like to come back to you. You had mentioned earlier about how the pandemic has fundamentally changed the labor market. For our audience that might be hoping for a job to come back or is looking for that next opportunity, where would you guide them as far as in-demand opportunities that we expect to grow in this new economy?
Yeah, great question, Garrett. So what Dr. Aguilar said just a few moments ago was exactly right. The industry sectors that we are focused on, that ACC is focused on with their fast track training, are for jobs in the industries that have really persevered well through this pandemic. So manufacturing, Mark, congratulations on launching a career in manufacturing. I think we're going to see bright, good things in our community. You mentioned Tesla, Mark, you mentioned Samsung. These are industries in manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, and we see that they are growing and adding jobs. In fact, manufacturing had the second greatest job growth month over month through this pandemic. So we've seen just tremendous growth in manufacturing. That's definitely a target. IT, information technology, is probably top of that industry sector list. When we look at the data of who's been unemployed as a result of COVID by industry sector, what we've seen is that we've still had more job postings in our area for IT jobs than we've had workers laid off. Only 2% of jobless claimants are coming from the IT sector. What that tells me as a workforce professional is that is an industry sector that is worth taking a look at if you're interested in IT. Additionally, healthcare is a strong industry sector. As Hector said, people are still going to hospitals. They still need healthcare. We see that as strong. We continue to be so proud and honored to work with ACC as you all prepare that workforce for the jobs and industries that are continuing to be the mainstays of our economy.
Hector here, before we go to break, I'd love to ask you one last question. For anyone in our audience that's wondering if this program is for them, are there any prerequisites, any requirements, or can anyone sign up for one of these programs?
Excellent question, Garrett. People in the community I ask this question all of the time. When you apply to a 2-year program, an associate's degree at a traditional community college, or a 4-year bachelor's degree at a university, there are prerequisites, there are requirements that you have to be able to get in. Fortunately, at Austin Community College, you also have quick entry-level programs like the ones that we're talking about now that get people into a job quickly, and they do not, for the most part, have prerequisites, meaning you do not have to have taken prior courses. In some cases, you may not even have to have a high school degree or a GED, depending which program you're looking at. When you're looking at the trades programs, you do not have to have a high school degree. You don't have to have taken other classes. Even in some programs, we have programs that are offered bilingual. So if you wanted to learn some of these programs in Spanish, we might have those too. You would have to call us. Some we do and some we don't. But I'll just give you an example, like accounting, bookkeeping, administrative assistant, certified nurse aide, certified production technician that we were talking about, HVAC, welding, phlebotomy, PC technician. They do not have prerequisites. You can come to us. We will help you, get you registered, get you on your way. In a few weeks, few months, you're working somewhere. And sure, we have some that do have a high school diploma or GED requirement, but most do not. So don't think you have to have all these requirements. Come talk to us. We'll help you. And in partnership with Workforce Solutions, we'll get you going quickly.
And with that, we're going to take a short break, but we will continue the conversation about fast track careers at ACC. Stay with us after the break. And welcome back to the forum where we're discussing fast track career programs at Austin Community College. Mark, I'd love to turn the conversation to you. I'd like to learn more because I do think some in our audience might be wondering, is now the right time to do training? Maybe several waited weeks or even months. Can you tell us why now was the time for you to do this training program and also why you chose ACC?
Well, to answer, the time is now to start the programs, and the answer is yes. Like, yes, absolutely. The time is definitely now. Again, I had said earlier that, you know, I just didn't really know which direction I was going to go. And that was even before the pandemic. So once this happened, I was like even more lost. And in a way, like it was presented to me, like the option to take this program, and which I'm really thankful that it was. And I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, like I wasn't really sure. Like I didn't honestly know too much of what it was as well, and so I was hesitant. But there's many times in my past where that hesitation has caused me to hold myself back. So in this moment, I was just like, no, like there is no reason to wait. Just do it. Like let's just take it. And that's what I did. And I'm really happy I did. Again, it was the whole process is just very, very smooth. As everyone here has been saying, that we're working really hard to get the program, to get the knowledge, or to finish the program as quickly as possible, and then to get you a job as quickly as possible afterwards. Yeah, if anyone is thinking about it or just a little hesitant, there's no reason to be hesitant. Just do it. You know.
Hector, I'd like to ask you a follow-up question about the importance of articulating the credit. So we've talked a lot about the importance of getting a job and how these programs are designed on the fast track to help individuals get employed. Something we haven't talked about is how the work you do in these programs becomes college credit. It actually stands in for classes if you decide to continue on to get that associate's degree or bachelor's degree. Could you talk a bit more about why that's important and what that looks like in some of these pathways?
We all know, and statistics show that the more education and training that we get, the more money we make. And the more money we make, the better life we typically attain. And that goes for the programs that we offer at Austin Community College. We have programs that are available to you wherever you are at today. If you want to learn English or a language, we have those programs. If your goal today is to get a job because you need to pay the bills in a few months or next month, those are the programs we're talking about right now. They train you for a job quickly. But once you get that job and you want to go up the ladder so that you can make more money and attain a better life, you're going to have to get more training. So you may want to come back and have your employer, whoever you work for, pay your tuition to get one of our credit certificates or 2-year degrees. And you might ask, well, what happens to the training I got in that first program that I did? Does it count towards this 2-year program? In many cases, the answer is yes. And more we're doing that so that we have like a ladder going upwards. You start wherever you're at, you get a little bit of credit, you do a little bit more, you get a job, you come back, you do more, and these credits add up, and eventually you graduate with a 2-year degree. And once you finish with ACC, you might even want to go higher and get a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree. And you want all of these courses and all of this time to add up so that you don't have to start again. So this is something that the college has taken seriously. They're doing more and more of it so that throughout your life, you're going up the ladder, you're making more money. All of the time that you invest in education counts, and you're getting more degrees. Absolutely, Garrett.
Hector, I love that because you're pointing out so importantly, like these programs are designed for employment and getting that job now. But ACC is here for the journey. For those of you that want to continue on and do that pathway, this is a journey that we're starting on, and we're here that whole stretch of the way. Tamara, not everyone knows that Workforce Solutions is one of our most hidden gems, valued partners. There's so much that you all bring, not only here in the region, but also our partner, Workforce Solutions Capital Area. All 5 counties have a lot of great support services that often we don't talk enough about. Could you share more about the support services and alignments that you're able to bring to students in these fast track programs?
But first I want to say, wow, Hector, you said it so well. You earn what you learn. You earn what you learn. And so there has never been a better time or a more urgent time for Central Texans, for our neighbors, for you watching this today to work on your skills enhancement at ACC, because you will get a better job if you have the skills that are in demand. And Workforce Solutions is a partner with ACC to help students, help you reach your goals. So what does Workforce Solutions do? Well, think of us again as connecting local people to local jobs. So let's take the local people part. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be kind of situated like bookends with ACC right there in the middle, meaning we're going to support you by helping you understand what does the labor market look like, what jobs are in demand in what industries. We're going to provide that information with you. And then we're going to be able to, when you're eligible, we're going to be able to provide you with a scholarship to go take advantage of those programs that Hector was talking about. We're going to help you financially afford and support to go to ACC. And because we know life is complicated and messy and complex, we have supports including childcare, support for books, transportation, other things that we can help support you with so that you can focus on what's important on this journey. And that's going to be your education and getting those skills as rapidly as possible. Then the other end of the bookend is we're going to be there at Workforce Solutions to connect you to the jobs. Remember, I said we're local people to local jobs. So Workforce Solutions is going to provide information on who's hiring, where are they, in partnership with ACC. Mark mentioned being interested in an internship. If that's what you're looking for, Workforce Solutions can also help you in partnership with ACC. But ultimately, together, hand in hand with ACC, our goal, all of our supports, is to help you get that better job so that you can support yourself and your family in the way you want to. And as Hector said, maybe it's just a launching place to that next great education. But no matter what, ACC and Workforce Solutions want to be here to help you with the supports you need when you need them.
Hector, I want to ask you too, following up on that. So we've talked about these short-term programs, quickly into jobs, all the support services are here. What does something like this cost?
Very important question. The public needs to understand that Austin Community College is publicly funded. If you're a taxpayer, you are paying for ACC with your taxes. Whether you use ACC or not, you're paying for it. And that's one of the reasons that we are the lowest cost in Central Texas for most of these programs. You might have a private school that might charge $5,000 to $20,000 for a program that we will charge $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000. That said, if right now you lost your job and this program is $3,000, well, $3,000 is a lot of money for anybody, but especially if you lost your job. So what the college has recently done is reduce the price by half for many of these programs that we've been talking about today. So a $3,000 program would be $1,500. A $2,000 program would be $1,000. But even that said, $1,000 or $1,500 is still a lot of money for most people. So fortunately, this partnership with Workforce Solutions, they not only help pay all of your school, your $1,500 or $2,000 if you're eligible, but they, like Tamara said, they also provide other services. Maybe you have a transportation challenge. How do you, if it's a program that's face-to-face, how do you get there? Or if you have other issues like childcare, you need somebody to take care of the kids, the small children while you're in class. If it's a Zoom call, they can help. So there's all these other services, supports, that Workforce Solutions will help you make this a reality. So if you meet certain economic guidelines, it might be free. But if you don't meet these economic guidelines and you're over a certain line, $1,500 versus paying $9,000, $10,000, take advantage of it. If you're unemployed or underemployed, do it as soon as possible. This is the time.
Absolutely. This is the time. And we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll talk to you all about how to get signed up, how to get started, and where to go from here. Stay with us.
This is where you will push your limits. This is where you will reach new heights, where you'll learn, you'll laugh, where you'll make memories that will last a lifetime. This is Riverbat Country. Riverbat Country is your new home, and it's more than you ever expected. Here, you'll make connections.
I feel like I'm a part of something bigger, as in towards the community. So I really feel like I'm more connected here.
Riverbat means you're part of the family.
Here, you'll find adventure, opportunity, and the support to help you reach success.
You get some real-world applications into what you're working towards.
I never really thought of myself as a leader or someone that would go out in the community, but here I am.
They try to set you up for success. It's set up where you can go directly into the job market, and I think that's great. You don't have to go to a 4-year institution to get a good job here in Austin.
In Riverbat Country, we stand beside you. We help you find your passion, and we cheer you on through every step and every class.
I realized that, there's so much opportunity here that I didn't think I was going to get. So I'm really happy about that, and I totally changed my perspective of community colleges as well.
Being able to experience new things that you've never really experienced before.
This is where you will start something big. This is where you will discover your future, and it's a bright one. Because when you start here, you get there. This is what happens when you choose ACC First.
And welcome back to the forum where we're discussing fast track career programs at Austin Community College. We're now going to get into the details about how to sign up, where to find the information you need, and where to get started. Hector, I'd like to ask you that question. Where does one begin, and how do we know which of these programs might be right for someone signing up?
If you're interested in any one of these programs, type in the URL that's listed here right at the bottom of our screen. But if you're not quite sure, we have advisors and counselors at all of our campuses. We have campuses in all parts of the region, north, south, east, west, every direction. And you could also visit the Workforce Solutions Capital Area offices. They have 2 of them north and 1 south. You can go to any of these locations or call them or go on the website, go on the ACC website, or go to the Workforce Solutions website and call us, and we'll connect you to an advisor or a counselor, and they'll take the time to show you the differences, show you different programs, and connect you to the right people so that we can get you registered and going. If you want to get into a 3-month program, start in a few weeks and finish it as soon as possible.
Tamara, anything you might want to add there about all the great services and connections you provide? What would you tell to someone who's looking for work right now?
Well, I think Mark said it really well a few minutes ago. Mark, when you were telling your story, you said you decided there's no time like the present. Act now. And so that would be the message I would share with everyone. Act now. Don't wait until the sometime in the future. ACC has classes now. Workforce Solutions has supports now. There's no better time to change your life than now. So I would encourage urgency. Act now, because there are employers that are looking for you, looking for talent right now, and we would love to connect you in those jobs. So the best way to connect with Workforce Solutions and get our support in going to ACC is to go to the URL and phone number that it's on the bottom of your screen, and we'll be happy to connect you with ACC. Say, I heard this from Tamara and I want to go to ACC. Workforce Solutions, can you help me? And the very fine folks that work at Workforce Solutions will connect you with the services and supports and get you started on your journey at ACC.
For all of you that are doing that now, I think I'll ask another question while you're signing up as we're discussing here, both for Tamara and Hector, but Tamara, I think I'll start with you. Tell us a bit more what you're hearing from employers about the economy that we're in as we move into 2021. From those that are offering the jobs that all of us are skilling up for. What do you think the economy holds in store for us next year, and in particular for the skills for programs like these?
So I want to be fair that I know that there's still a lot of businesses and people that are hurting. So we know that industries and sectors such as entertainment, food, bars, hospitality, Gosh, we know it's hard out there. We know that COVID has made it difficult for those industries to restart. That being said, we also know that there are some industries that are continuing to grow and continuing to add jobs and are looking for the skilled talent that ACC is training. So I would just say, in terms of where the future is going, I'm not an economist and I don't have a crystal ball, but I do believe that the industry sectors that ACC is focused on are the right ones where they're going to be jobs. That's going to be information technology, healthcare, skilled trades, advanced manufacturing. The jobs that Hector mentioned previously that ACC is training for, those are jobs that are going to continue to grow and be in demand in our area. If you skill up in those areas, you're going to have the best chance possible to get a job in Central Texas.
Hector, let's dive a little deeper into that. I think that's excellent advice. When we look at the specific programs that you were filling, because we've had our fast track career programs open now for a couple weeks, which programs are particularly popular that our audience should be calling about right now to fill slots that might be rare? But also, what other programs might be overlooked that our audience should be thinking about?
We're so fortunate, Garrett, and you all know here in Central Texas, just the Association of Manufacturing, the organization that represents manufacturers here just in the Austin area, has more than 200 members. 200 manufacturing companies happen to be members of that association, but there's many more. Mark mentioned Applied Materials and NXP and Samsung and Tesla moving in. Those are just some of the manufacturers. There's so many of them. But you look at the IT industry that Tamara was referring to, we have the Googles and the eBays, and we used to say that we were the semiconductor second to Silicon Valley place. Well, we've expanded from that. Now we have a lot of programming companies, IT security companies, networking companies. The whole IT infrastructure has moved to this area. So IT is big. Manufacturing is very large. So when those industries come in, what happens to healthcare and trades? When you end up doubling the population of this region over 20, 30 years, are we going to need more plumbers? Are we going to need more people in construction, more people that take care of our air conditioners? Are we going to need more nurses, more phlebotomists? Are we going to need more truck drivers? The answer is absolutely yes. So if you lost your job, you're underemployed, you want a better life, and you're watching this, get on that email, call us right now, and let's get going. But yeah, it's very, and that's not the case for other parts of the country, and it's definitely not the case for other parts of the world. We're very fortunate to be here. It's a strong job market.
I couldn't agree more. The secret is out that Austin is a growing area where, despite the pandemic, despite the challenges, there are companies moving here and they are rushing to beat the other companies here, expecting many, many job announcements, many, many openings. We're hearing the rumors of what's to come. But on the other side, all of these jobs require a higher skill level than we're used to training. And that's why these programs are so critical and important. Mark, I'd like to come back to you to help close out our time here on the forum. While the secret might be out for companies, often so many of our Central Texans don't know of the great affordable ways in which you can upskill and do so quickly. Mark, what would you say to a fellow student who's considering coming to AC? What would you have to share with them if they're thinking about this option?
You might be scared, or there might be a lot of hesitation. Fight it. Like, fight your hesitation, fight your fear, and just sign up. Like I said, they make it very, very smooth. ACC and Workforce Solutions, they've done a great job of just making this process easy, smooth, and fast. If you go on their website and look at all their programs, pick one, and they should have all the information for the program coordinator. Or if you call their advisors of ACC, they're really, really patient, and they'll help you along the way to guide you to where you need to go to get the information you need. To close out, I mean, I think the best way I can put it is, I know there's a lot of uncertainties. I know there's a lot of things we just can't control. It's out of our hands. But my instructor has said this once, and I really liked it a lot, is whether you lose your job or whatever happens, just anything happens, one thing that for sure that no one can take away from you is your education. And I think that's key, is the more education you get, the better skills, the better skill set you have, and the more valuable you are. And if something does happen here, you can take your education elsewhere, and you also, keep growing your education. So yeah, I really, really think that that's important.
That's wonderful, Mark. The only thing that can't be taken away from you is your education. And as we heard before, we earn what we've learned. Well, that's all we have time for today. I appreciate you joining me, Hector, Tamara, Mark, for talking about fast track careers at ACC. To our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. For more information on ACC's Fast Track Careers, which includes all the information about the programs as well as future salaries and job opportunities, visit austincc.edu/fast.